Lilith. Who is Lilith? Like, are we talking about the evil winged demon from Frasier? Oh, maybe that's something completely different. No, instead, there is this one small character that's mentioned a few different places. In some ancient texts, a woman called Lilith. And in some cases, she was referred to as a winged demon of some sorts. But in other parts, she kind of becomes this legendary, folklorish, almost type of character that shows up from here and there in ancient Babylonian texts and makes its way to the Bible to some degree. Now, the only serious mention of the name Lilith in the Bible is in Isaiah 34:14. Let's see here if I can read a little bit. It's in the Amplified Version. It translates the text this way. The creatures of the desert will encounter jackals, and the hairy goat will call to its kind. Indeed, Lilith, and they have in parentheses, night demon, will settle there and find herself a place of rest. However, most translations just translate that as night creature, or some even have translated as screeching owl. So, I'm not really sure that it's mentioning some sort of person as Lilith is by name at all. Lilith was rather kind of a name for kind of a creature of the night, you could say. Now, but are there any other major considerations in the canon of Scripture about Lilith? Not much, and certainly not anything by name. However, one of the ones that I heard that I did think was the most interesting to try and be true to the Bible is the notion of Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. And somebody has supposed this idea that in Genesis 1, it has a creation narrative where it says that God created them, man and woman, male and female. And male and female, he created them in his image. And that chapter 2, when it tells the story of Eve, is giving a completely different narrative for the creation of Adam's wife. So the idea here is that Lilith was the first wife that was created, but she was also created from the dust, just like Adam, and therefore Lilith and Adam were equals in every way in that case. But they did not get along because of their equality. Lilith would not submit to Adam, and Adam would not submit to Lilith. This frustrated Lilith, and because of it, she decided to run off and leave. And so that is where you have Lilith going away. And in some tales, I have heard that they have supposed that Lilith was actually the serpent who comes back to tempt Eve herself. So it's only this reason, of course, that, since Eve was created out of the side of Adam and all these other illustrations, then that's why Eve is submissive to Adam and they're able to get along. So oddly enough, even in these old folklore type of ideas, these old tales, it still rings strangely of complementarianism in some ways. Now, I don't really see any major evidence of Lilith other than that, especially in the major canons of Scripture. And even if she was perhaps partially illustrated in C.S. Lewis's, White Queen, what else can we say?